Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sexology Podcast. I am so excited and honored to welcome Dr. Albert Wong to our show. Dr. Albert, welcome to our show.
Oh, it's so great to be with you. It's a delight to see you and reconnect.
For couples that you see that they are in a long-term relationship, what are some of the
Mm.
mistakes that you think they're making when it comes to sex?
Well, I think that a lot of the messaging from
Mhm.
mainstream media is very much like Hollywood. There's this expectation of things should just be in the movies, right? Happily ever after, riding off into the sunset. And the truth is that relationships are complex and there's layers and things arrive and there's all these phases, the honeymoon phase, etc. But that, layers get uncovered in relationship are the people with whom we feel safest with. Sometimes we start to feel so safe that things start to bubble up, right? So it's almost like so that, and that's one of the magic things about relationship, right? That things will bubble up, that old, I don't know, potential woundings will emerge, and these are points of potential deepening and deeper connections, right? uh, Partners that kind of are with each other for longer, these things just tend to surface. And so, just kind of being willing to know that that could arise and to be present along for the ride. And these experiences, which can create like fear and anxiety, with sufficient connectedness, safety, and holding, there can be these moments and experiences of I'm with you and I'm scared, right? Maybe I don't want to look you in the eyes. It's scary. Oh, okay. I'm with you. It's okay. You don't have to. I'm still here. Oh, you're still here. I'll peek at you or I'll look at you. Oh, and that was okay, right? And there can be these moments of, like we talk about sometimes in the field, corrective emotional experiences, but there can be corrective experiences of intimacy, right? Where it's like, oh, it was too terrifying to be with somebody in these moments of pure vulnerability and see and be with them, right? And as I deepen with a partner, as I am with them, and these old fears, it becomes safe enough for them to resurface, there becomes kind of the opportunity for them to also be healed. Alanis Morissette has this wonderful quote, because trauma happens in relationship, it can only be healed in relationship, right? And I think that, and whether it's like trauma with a big T, and there are some people certainly who've experienced that, or just like the trauma around sex that emerges from being told we're not good enough or attractive enough, or we don't fit a certain mold, right? That's a little bit of like, oh, we start to dislike who we are, or kind of there's a societal kind of trauma that happens. But all of that, can resurface in relationship, can make a person both want to pull away, be distant, but also there's an incredible opportunity for repair and healing if there's enough of that connectedness and safety, so that like even deeper and deeper layers of intimacy and connection can unfold. And so sometimes there's this transition from like pure, just passionate, intoxicating kind of the physicality of sex into, I don't know, it's a certain kind of seasoning of intimacy where there's layers, not that the passion disappears, but it almost becomes seasoned with kind of layers of emotional depth and connectedness that, I don't know, I think in my opinion, can add a lot of richness to that if the relationship is willing to embark on that journey, right? Instead, I think one of the, just the question, like one of the mistakes is like, okay, things are kind of surfacing in our relationship, right? I'm not getting, my needs met or thing, there's a, okay, there's something that's starting to bubble up, that might want to be healed, right? So instead of, it's like, oh, my partner is not, is hurting me, or is doing something bad, or it's more like, okay, this is what happens in relationship. There's rupture and repair. There's like, I want to feel connected with you. I want to feel that blissful interpenetration of our beings, right? And it's not happening, and it's so painful. It's so painful. But if we can be with that kind of suffering, hold it with tenderness, and allow our partner enough grace and space to be in it with us, then sometimes together that can be moved through. And if we just hold it and listen to it, like beautiful things can emerge if we adopt the right frame as kind of things that arise as being not just, oh, geez, why is this person such a, but, oh, something's happening. And maybe it's a pointer to an edge of anxiety or fear or hurt that can be, and it may be asking to be repaired and healed in this moment. So
Beautiful. I love the analogy of seasoning, of a kind of like the intimacy. It's such a beautiful analogy and way of looking at it. Because sometimes when we hear is they say like, the honeymoon phase is over, and therefore the passion is over, and the relationship is about deep connection. And here you are, say goodbye to exciting, kind of like invigorating sexual experiences. But I think looking at it from a different perspective, I think it's very important. And what I see that similar to what you talk about, that sometimes people are chasing the wrong problem. They think the issue is that their partner, they don't want to do certain thing, and the issue is this certain thing. But at times the issue is, as you mentioned, that things that comes up from our past. And how beautiful you talked about this, kind of your partner being there and supporting you through this resolving of these past wounds when as they come up. And I think it requires one person to be kind of have certain level of self-awareness, right? That sometimes they are triggered and we are triggered, and like, we're closing our eyes and the person saying that here comes another person that thinking about someone else. And that can become this kind of like vicious cycle.
Yeah. No, I think it's whenever there's so much vulnerability, our triggers are just so kind of ripe for the triggering, right? And yeah, and so just to be aware of, sometimes these triggers arise, and sometimes they're a little bit about our partners, sometimes they're about things that have arisen in our past, and just to use them potentially as fuel for connecting even deeper, and finding that seasoning to our sexuality and our love.
Well, let's then name these spices. I know
Yeah.
you mentioned that, like, how people need to have kind of certain level of connection. You mentioned so many beautiful things that helps with that. So if